Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today is part 2 of my Big Button Form series, where we're going to make a dynamic form that you can click to pick options, just like these. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, what are you doing here? Go watch part 1 and then come on back. All right, so yesterday we got our tables all set. We got make, model, and year. Tables all set up. Now, once the user picks their selection, right, they pick a make, model, and a year, we got to save that information somewhere. Now, ideally, you would want to have maybe a subform over here or another form that pops up like the contacts so that they could have multiple vehicles, right? Ideally. But we're not going to waste our time setting up relationships and stuff for that. So for the purposes of class, we're just going to put one field in the customer table where we put the customer's vehicle. One vehicle. That's all they're allowed to have. I don't know. Maybe they're registering for a demolition derby and they can only register one vehicle at a time. I don't care. But just to keep things simple for class, we're going to make one field in the customer table. Now, what should we store in the table to know their unique make, model, and year? Do we have to store all 3 of these fields in there? No, absolutely not. All we need is really the last one, the year table. Because if we know the year, we can very easily look up the model. And if we know the model, we can look up the make. So if you've saved your data this way, you really only need to store the vehicle year T, if that's your last field, right? And of course, if you have other options like color and stuff that are separate, that aren't related, make those extra fields too. But again, for the purposes of class, all I have to do is go into the customer table. And down here, all I have to add is V year ID. And that's it. Now I can tell, based on that, what their make and model are, what their make and model are, right? Plural. All right, so go ahead and save that. Now what we're going to do is, on the customer form, I'd like to put a combo box down here so we can see all 3 of those things together. Just like if you watched all my other videos, just like on the order form, we put together last and first name into this LFQ, right? That just takes first name and last name and puts them together so you can see both of those fields in a combo box like that, right? Because normally you only see one field at a time. So let's make a query that puts these things together. So I'm going to create query design. I'm going to bring in the tables make, model, and year. You shouldn't have to worry about joins here. You should use inner joins because every record in each of these tables should have a matching record in the other table. You would never have a make and a model without any years. Otherwise, you can't. It's not going to work. Right? So just bring in the stuff that we need for this combo box. I need the make name, don't need the ID. I need the model name, don't need the ID. I need the year to display it, and the value that we're going to be storing in the customer table is going to be the year ID. That's the unique value that will give us all of this information. And if I open this up now, you'll see this is what it looks like. Okay. Now I just got to put all 3 of these together with a little concatenation so I can see them all from my combo box. We'll go over here. We'll call this display name. Here, I'll zoom in so you can see it. Shift F2. Display name, and that'll be colon. It'll be V make name and a space and V model name and a space and V year, or however you want to display it. And if you don't know about string concatenation, you're in the wrong class. This is a developer class. I cover string concatenation in my beginner classes. But just in case you missed it, yeah, of course, I got a video on it. Go watch this. You would not believe the number of times that someone emails me and says, hey, I don't need these beginner classes. I want to skip them. I'm going to go right to the VBA stuff. It's what I want to learn. And then I'm like, okay, I don't recommend it, but it's your money. Do what you want. And then, 2 days later, they're posting in the forums, what's this thing about concatenation? I'm like, well, I covered that in the classes that you skipped. So there's a reason why my course covers things in a particular order. So anyways, a little concatenation, we get this. This looks great. That's what's going to be in our combo box. Rearrange the order if you want to. I don't care. I know Adam does it. Year, make, model. And let's save this. I'm going to save this one as vehicle Q. Yeah, I'm spelling it out this time because VQ is just dumb. So vehicle Q is fine. Now we can use this to make the combo box on our customer form to store their vehicle choice. Is it vehicle or vehicle? How do you guys pronounce it? Depends. If you're from the South, it's definitely a vehicle. Drop that combo box right there. Look up the values from a table or query. Go to queries, pick the vehicle queue. Next, what do you want? Well, we need the year ID first, right? And then we need the display name. We don't need all this other stuff. All right, next, we're going to sort it by the display name. Next, we're going to arrange the columns like that. We're going to resize that one. Normally, this is the key column, right? Whoop, this guy, oh, come here. I can't get my mouse on it. This is the key column, but since this combo box is made from a query, you don't get that little checkbox here that says hide the key column. Access will only give you that if it's a table. So we can manually make that 0, and that'll hide it. Make this as wide as you think it needs to be. You can take a look at the data that's in here. Some of those are pretty wide. Yeah, like the GMC Sierra. Let's bring it out to here. All right, next. What field is the bound field? In other words, what's the data we care about? The year ID, obviously. We're going to store that value in the year ID field that we just added to the customer table. All right, we're picking the value and we're storing it in the customer table. Next, what label do you want? Vehicle. And we're done. There it is right there. We'll slide it up into place like so. Make this a bit wider. That width that we said earlier is for how wide the box is when you open it, when you drop it down. Little format painter and picks that. All right, save it, close it, open it, and now we can pick a vehicle. All right, there's our list. And this list is what we're going to make our button and the big form to avoid, because if you got greasy technicians with you know, the 2 thumbs, it's very difficult to click on that little guy, open this up, and scroll down to pick all these things, right? Even if you make these nice and big, it's still easier to do what I'm going to show you how to do with these big button forms. All right, so now we've got a way to view the data in here. Now we can start actually building the form, the single dynamic form that we're going to use to select all of our options. Now, I'm going to make this as a really basic form. It's not going to have any records in it, right? It's going to be an unbound form, just like our main menu. It's not going to have any record selectors or navigation buttons. So I'm going to just copy the main menu and use that as the template for the big button form. Let's find the main menu, copy, paste, Control-C, Control-V. We'll call this big button F, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But if you want your code to match mine, name your stuff the same. You can rename it later if you want to. Right-click, Design View. I'm going to delete everything in here except for one button and that label caption. I want to keep these things. While we're in here, let's change the caption, because the caption right now says TechHelp free template. We'll just call this the big bottom. Big bottom? Big bottom borrow. I'm thinking elementary school math, right? They teach a big bottom borrow. Big button form. We're going to replace that in code. So when it opens up, it's going to say select the make or whatever. All right, this guy, let's change the name of it to the title label. And again, we're going to replace this in code, or the caption in code. So I'll just put title in here. That's going to be changed. Remember, change captions of labels here, not over here, so it doesn't resize this guy. Now for the button, let's change the name to button 1. And you can also make that the caption. And again, the caption is going to be changed with code. Now here's the thing with the buttons. We're going to have to copy and paste and make as many buttons as we think we're going to need in the worst case scenario. All right, so I'm going to do it with, I think I'm going to fit 18 buttons on the screen. If you need more than that, you'll have to make more. The thing is that Access cannot create or destroy objects on a form like buttons or labels or text boxes. It can't create them or destroy them unless you switch to design view, which you can do if you want to do stuff for yourself. And I've built some databases like that just for me, where I say, make me 10 buttons and the VBA code creates them. But your end users aren't going to be able to do that. In fact, your end users shouldn't have design access to the forms at all, because you should be giving them ACCDE files, in which case they can't get into design view. So you have to basically create as many buttons as you're going to think you're going to need up front. So if you got 30 items, you're going to need 30 buttons. And then what we can do is we can show and hide them by making the visible property true or false in our code. So if there's 6 options, they'll only see 6 buttons. And yes, it is possible to resize the buttons, to resize the form, to do all that stuff. We're not going to cover that right now. If enough of you want to see it, I'll show you how to do it in a future lesson. Post a comment down below if you do. So I'm going to resize this guy so I can get roughly 3 of them across. All right, so I'm going to go copy. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the caption to just button, because it's easier now if I copy all these, just come on here and go 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? So copy, paste, paste. I'm going to line these up like this. So they're how I want to see them. That looks about right. That's close enough, right? Close enough. Maybe a little bit to the left, like that. Okay, looks good. Then I'm going to copy this and go paste, 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 paste. So I got 18 of them, right? 3 by 6. Now all you got to do is come over here and change this to button 1. All right, now I'm going to copy button to my clipboard, and I'm going to click on this guy, and this is now going to be button 2 and 2. See? Right here, button 3, 3. Next one, you can click over here on the name, and it'll select that for you. Watch. Button 4, 4. Oh. And yeah, this is one of those things that's a little tedious to do the first time, but you only have to do it once. Or if you got to add more buttons later, you got to, okay, come in here and add 3 more buttons. No big deal. We're going to have code in our VBA to check. We're going to set the maximum number. So if you do have 20 options, it's going to yell at you and say you don't have enough buttons. We'll get to that. I rehearsed this earlier when I was building the prototype database. It took me under 2 minutes to do all 18 buttons. So I'm going to pause this now. I'm going to do one more for you. Click on this. Click here. Paste. Button 5, 5. See, it's not hard. I can do it in under 2 minutes. I'm not going to make you watch me have to do it. So I'm going to pause now and finish them all myself. Go ahead and do it yourself too. Go on. Get going. Do it right now. All right, I'm on 11, and I wanted to say, do you have to name them like this? Yes, name them exactly like this. Button 1, 1, button 1, 2. Exactly like I'm doing it, because we're going to make a loop in VBA, and we can programmatically access the stuff in each of these buttons, but it's got to be exactly that. Button and then the number. And there we go. I got all 18 of them done, all set. And yeah, that took me under 2 minutes to do, so you can do it too. All right, I'm going to leave a little space down here because later on we're going to put a cancel button down here in case the user wants to cancel. Okay, but this is all set. We're going to save this, close it, open her up, take a peek. All right, looks pretty good. Not too bad. One more thing I am going to do is I'm going to come in here and turn auto center on. Find the auto center property and set that to yes, because we're going to be opening up this as a dialog form so that it pauses execution. And when that happens, it treats it like a pop-up form. All right, so you want to put auto center on so it opens up in the middle of your Access application. All right, it actually opens up in the center of this here. All right, so that's what I want. Okay. Otherwise, if you got a multi-monitor setup like I do, it could open up anywhere on any monitor, and that's annoying. So make sure you got auto center on. All right, so now we can put a button on here that our big fat-fingered technicians can click on to open up that form. Okay, so design view. And I'm just going to grab one of these buttons over here, copy and paste, slide it down here, make a big fat-fingered button that says whatever. What do you want? Select vehicle. All right. I will right-click properties and name this. I shall henceforth name this button. What am I calling it? Select vehicle button BTN. Save it. And we'll put some code in it to open up that form. Right-click, build event. Yeah, I know it was off the screen. You guys don't need to see all that. My code window is always giant because when I work on stuff myself, I expand it a lot, and then when I have to teach a video, I got to close it down. All right, do command, open form. What are we opening up? Big button. I almost typed in big buffoon. Big button F, and then we could go comma, 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 all the way to window mode and pick AC dialog like that. Or if you don't want all the commas there, you just go like this. You say window mode. It's got to be the exact name of the parameter, colon equals AC dialog, and then it gets rid of all those extra commas. I just learned that one myself not too long ago, a couple of years ago. All right, debug compile. Oh, what do we got? Variable not defined, status box. That's right, I deleted the status box. Let's get rid of all the code because we've got in our big button F, right? We've got all this code that we no longer need, and there's no reason to have. This is all the stuff that was in the main menu, and we can just get rid of all that. We're going to put a bunch of stuff in here in a bit. All right, save that, and that's why we do a debug compile once in a while. Debug compile. It cleans up all that garbage. And also make sure you got option explicit in all of your modules. Your form modules, your report modules, and your module modules. Alrighty, we should be good to go now. Once again, main menu, customer form, select vehicle, and there it is. And we'll be able to click buttons and do stuff. Can we click buttons and do stuff now? No, we haven't programmed this yet. All we can do now is close this guy. But we're going to start programming that guy in part 3 tomorrow. So you know the drill. Tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And if you remember, you can watch it right now because I'm going to continue recording right now. So it should be posted soon. That's one of the benefits of being a member. You don't have to wait for this stuff to get published. But that is going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something in part 2. We're getting to the good stuff, folks. We had a lot of setup to do before we get to the meat and potatoes, right? We got some condiments we had to set up first. Well, I don't know these condiments, but anyways. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow for part 3. A special thank you and shout out to our diamond sponsor, Juan Soto with Access Experts Software Solutions. They're manufacturing experts specializing in Microsoft Access and SQL Server. Juan is a 13-time Microsoft Access MVP. Check him out at accessexperts.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut TechHelp videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my TechHelp videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any TechHelp questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for TechHelp questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.